second day in a row. What's up? Welcome to the vlog. We're back to creating videos because one of the things that I'm starting to find, at first I was like, I like doing it and I like the idea and I 100% buy into the fact that doing videos, creating the following, creating the content, you're gonna just document what you're doing, but then you're gonna humanize your brand. And I think that that is happening. It just takes years to pay dividends and stuff. So one of the things I actually want to flip, because I was actually recording something else and then I got all these notifications on my phone. So I want to flip to past Ryan when he got the notifications on his phone, so you can see how excited I was, because we're having the biggest week in company history right now. We're having a ton of sales, and it's a 4-day week, by the way. So we're having the biggest week in company history in a 4-day week, which actually on a per day basis is blows away any other week. So I'm gonna go to past Ryan. You're gonna see me on my phone getting the notifications. Take it away, past Ryan. Just looked at my phone. So anytime we get a new sale, I get a notification from Stripe. I get a notification from a dashboard app called Control, and then I get a notification from Slack because we push our Stripe sales into Slack. I just looked at my phone and we just closed this franchise deal that we've been working on for a while. They just closed for $175 a month. Right before that, I just had a guy text me and he's like, hey, upgrade my account to $375, so from $225 a month to $375, and we had, before either of those, pretty big sales for us, because our average customer pays $100 a month, even though we do have a bunch of customers pay $1,000. Anyway, those are big sales for us, and before these big sales even happened, we're already having the biggest week that we've had in company history. So I literally just looked down at my phone and it's just boop, boop, just brrr, all these notifications for these sales. So that's freaking awesome. I'm super excited. We're having the best week, and it was only a 4-day week. We're having a 4-day week, and we have people out this week, and the wagon is just rolling. So super excited about that. Back to you, Historical Ryan. All right, so now we're back. That was past Ryan. You saw me get the notifications on my phone. So one of the things that I want to show you guys today is basically the value of, and just the why you should do one-on-ones. So I do one-on-ones. I was doing one-on-ones with everyone, and it just it was a lot of time, and it's and then I would move them. And the thing is with one-on-ones, what I've found is the one-on-ones aren't for me necessarily. They're actually for the employees, because it gives them the chance to have your time, right? The thing that I like to do is have it on the calendar. It's recurring every single week, either 30 minutes or an hour, probably 30 minutes. If they want to move it, let them move it. You as the founder, manager or whatever, don't move the one-on-one, because that is their time, and what we found is that they want to be able to get your ear if they have something that they want to talk about. The thing is that I like to do is look, what can I do to help? I'll sit there and try to help them and hold them, accountable, and make sure that we're pushing things forward, and look at the metrics, make sure that the numbers are getting hit. This is not a brand deal for Nike, by the way. Peeking out, there we go. Hugely valuable. You get their time. They're gonna have ideas. They're gonna have things they want to say, and then also it's a chance to just put pen to paper and to put deadlines on stuff. So it's hey, we want to do this activity, this project, this action. So then let's put a date on it, and then let them agree to the date, and then put the date on the calendar. And then if things come up, you should know well ahead of time if they're not gonna hit the date, but they committed to the date. You're holding them. The date comes, hey, where's the deliverable? Let's talk about it. What prevented you from hitting it? Which shouldn't happen. The case should be they just hit it, awesome, and then we're just moving things forward. I think a lot of times people fall into the trap of things aren't moving forward. They're oh, I'll try to do that. There's no trying. That's the thing that I've eliminated in our vocabulary. We're not trying, we're doing shit, right? We're doing something. I'm going to get that customer. I'm going to do this many demos. I'm going to get a sale. We're going to land this partnership. So the one-on-ones, again, it's we're not going to try. We're going to do things, and we're going to put a date on them. So we're going to hold ourselves accountable so that we can just, again, be the most productive people. The thing is, I want us to move at a speed that no one else is moving at, especially the competition, but also just other companies, other people. I want us to have more output than other human beings, right? And the way to do that, one, is to keep healthy mindset, but then also just the systems that we put into place, and not even intricate, complex systems, but really just holding yourselves accountable, little goals. Let's tackle little goals, get those wins under our belt, celebrate those little wins, and the power of just celebrating little wins with your team is really going to pay off. So anyway, that's why one-on-ones I think are so important. It gets you on the same page as well, and it also gives gives your time to them. I'm gonna show you an actual one-on-one today that I did with Jim. He's like one of our senior account executives. He's been with us for over a year. He was originally first or second like real sales rep that we have. He originally came in, he was like cold calling, he was self-sourcing everything. We went through a lot of changes. He joined the company when we were doing like 7,000 a month in monthly recurring revenue and maybe like 70 customers, something like that, right? And we're like almost at like 500 paying customers. Like we added 75 last month. So we're at a different place than we were now, and our sales team now is like a lot more evolved. So anyway, he's like my top sales guy right now, and he kind of manages the rest of the sales team. So did a one-on-one today with him, went over his metrics, went over the team metrics, and then just like higher level stuff, and then just talking to him about some things that, you know, I'm reading, that I'm learning about. He's telling me some stuff that he's learning about, and we just kind of are in this just like real, more like discussion where we can just exchange ideas and everything. So anyway, follow along, follow the journey. Hope you guys are out there working hard, being pioneers, being Wagoneers. Here's the one-on-one that I had with Jim today. Peace. All right, so do you have your last week's numbers, like last week's numbers and this week's numbers? I'm just gonna fill out our one-on-one doc right now. I mean, this is probably your best week ever with that $1,600 a month sale.
Yes.
By the way, we've done more in September. We've doubled the amount of MRR in September, and it's only September 6th, September 7th. Then we added in all of August already. So we're like pacing for like 10K in net new right now.
I like that.
I like it as well. By the way, that like podcast that I was just listening to, I thought that was like super interesting. About like negotiation strategies, and like when they were talking about how like, look, when you almost want them to feel like they have power, and that's where I think like when they're talking about in the hostage situations, you know, it's like you don't want to talk over them, and you don't want them to feel like you have all the power. So a lot of times, you know, it's like trying to figure out exactly what they want, why they want it. Tell them that, like, ask a lot of how questions. So it's like, I need a car in 60 seconds, or I'm gonna, like, you know, take this person that I have as a hostage. Well, it's like, how do you expect me? You know, how should I get a car in 60 seconds? Like, that's crazy. Not, you don't say that's crazy though, by the way. But there's a lot of like how questions, like how can we do this? And then you kind of like stroke their ego, which I think we talk about a lot when we're talking with like these customers and stuff. How we talk about like, look, you're obviously like killing it right now. You have amazing reviews. You look like you have a ton of clients. Would love to work with you. So you stroke their ego and, like, you know, that whole thing. And then so anyway, I thought it was really good. That's why I think like it's just interesting. So I think the team should listen to it, but also for like negotiating. By the way, the things that I've been doing, we're gonna have to. The things that I've been doing when they're like saying they're gonna go to a competitor. I feel like we should all do that. Like, I'm almost being cocky at this point, but every single time I'm saying it, it works. I'm like, look, totally get it. You're going to go to them. They're not going to answer you. They're not going to be responsive. And then you're going to come back to us. So why don't you just, I mean, which is fine. Like, you know, just let me know. Just hit me up when you're ready to come back. And then a lot of times they're like, all right, let's just get it done now. They're like, there's no contact. Yeah.
Dude, I used that on a demo earlier because I saw that. I think you said it in the live chat. You were like, hang up with me, call them, see what happens, and then call me back. They're not going to answer. And I literally just said that to somebody. He kind of like laughed. He's been using a competitor for a year or so, and he kind of like chuckled and was like, okay, I'll make my mind up in the next week or so.
Yeah, it's like,
but he was like, yeah, he was super receptive to that. I was like,
that is so good. I'm walking the line now. I'm going to go on the cocky side, but I think we should go on the confident side as a company.
Yeah.
So by the way, Arad's killing it. I just think
Yes.
top of the funnel, top of the funnel, top of the funnel. That's why YouTube videos are going out every single day now. No excuses. There's going to be one going out today. There was one yesterday. I actually got a bunch of people, 2 different people that watched the video said, oh, I'm like, because I said like deep in the video that I was in Maryland, and I didn't say where in Maryland, and I said it didn't say in the title or anything or a thumbnail. And then people like watch the video, they're like, oh, I'm in Maryland, or I'm 30 minutes from in Maryland, whatever. And then they like ask me something, but has like, but anyway, and then I thought it was good. So top of the funnel, top of the funnel, top of the funnel. Okay, so your metrics, last week's, this week's, any hurdles, anything stopping you from putting up 3,500 in MRR this month?
We're going up.
Fuck the BK. We're going 35.
So we're going 4K. No, not at the moment. I mean, I'm pacing good. I feel comfortable with where I am. I got a big call.
How many demos do you have so far this month?
So demos, a little low. Actually, I need to go through. I don't know if I updated for yesterday or not. Demos so far, I have four so far. Four demos complete. Yes, 4 demos complete so far, and then I have. I guess I can look just at the dashboard. Yeah, 4 demos complete so far. 6 sales for 1901.
Okay. That's really good in terms of sales and MRR. We just need to figure out how to feed you a little bit more. 4 demos in 4 days, though. Yeah. So
I did, and that's not including today. I just did one earlier that I self-set from an inbound, and then
it's basically 4 demos in 3 days.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Last week, it looks like I did. Last week, it looks like I did 2 demos. 2 demos, and brought in 6 sales and 2 upgrades for 1152.
Okay.
So
demos are down, but so you're basically just working upgrades and working pipeline and stuff. So you're not getting like new demos.
So yeah, so that's the other thing too, is that what we were talking about the other day kind of overflows as far as like MQLs, SQLs, and then expansion within the company, right? Because that big upgrade and a couple of the demos that I did are like the same company, but it's a different group at the same company. It's like technically it is a demo. It's just not a new demo because it's not a new account.
I'm gonna get a Roddy at that one live chat.
Do it.
Yeah, and I think like we got to just maybe move a little bit away from this notion of demos and into just an SQL. It could go leads, SQL, sale, or even like niche if we don't want to go like SQL and be super like fancy. But either way, start putting down demos as SQLs. We can change the label on it.
Okay.
Just so I know, like, look, I want you to. I want to know, like, if you really only have 4 this week, or was it really like 8, but only like 4 actually did a screen share demo? So it's truly 8, because if we look at just the 4, to me, I'm like, oh my God, I need to like feed them, because like the thing is, you guys are you're killing it on like, once you're in conversations with someone, it's like game over. Like we're going beast mode right now.
Feels good.
Yeah, so maybe just change the let's change the definition from demo to SQL.
Okay.
And then we'll still just do close rate on SQL. We'll do close rate on SQL, and then we'll do like conversion from like lead top of funnel to conversion, and then lead to SQL.
So do you want to change the label in the report and in Closio, or
not in Closio,
just in how we talk about it? I got another big one I'm working on.
Really?
So,
what is it?
So
is he friends with any of us on like Facebook, LinkedIn, anything? Like we have to be top of mind. Like, he's not just gonna like.
Yeah, I mean,
8 months and be like, unless he had on us, and then it's like his need was like matched to us. But I feel like something triggered him to come to us. Something obviously triggered, but I'm thinking, is it?
Well, I know Eric reached out to him at one point.
External triggers and internal triggers.
I don't know.
With the habit loop, there's like external triggers, internal triggers. Anyway, that's different.
I know Eric reached out to him recently because he's been digging through some of my old leads to try to revive and those.
There's painting behind me.
I know. I noticed that actually.
Riding a bike. It's like riding a bike.
Where is that painting from? It looks like a river and a light post. Some birds. Nice hipster sleeping on the bench.
Yeah.
They're all wearing black. It must be New York. You leave New York follows you wherever you go.
All right, cool. So, how have the one-on-ones been going with the team? I saw you do it with Eric the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did it with Eric and Rod as well. Been doing them both. I guess I haven't been filling out the form as well as I should be probably, but we've been going through and trying to work on little things and like coaching them through little objections and what can we work on this week type of stuff.
Yeah.
Went through numbers a little bit with Arad and was like, hey, look, you can do this. You're within spitting distance. Like
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah.
The team right now, I feel like it feels a little light just because people are out this week, but I just feel like everyone right now is such heavy hitters that it's like if we just I've been trying to read so much. It's like all this shit is about just like getting the right people on the team, and I think like getting the right people on the team, then giving them. Dude, you should read this book that I'm reading, especially as you become more of like a leader, like in the company and just like in the world. But like Leaders Eat Last, it's all about like making everyone inside the organization like trust each other, because then it's like then you're gonna go to war for your like fellow like teammates and stuff, and then it's like they have their back. So then if any like external conflict happens, like obviously the one I'm thinking of is like competitors and things like that. But if anything happens, it's like that your team like got to. And then you trust each other. It has a lot of like war references, like military references and stuff. Like, it's like if you're in a plane, you're on the ground, and like someone on the ground needs you, that the person in the plane above is gonna like come down and like get you. And then it's like, but it's like if you don't trust the people in your inner circle on the inner team, then you're not going to fight the outside as well, because you're like exhausting physically and mental resources, because you're like negotiating and conflicting internally versus like you're supposed to like pack together. It's just it's really good. I have the hard copy and the audio book that I'm reading right now, but I think like
Leaders Eat Last. That's the name of it. That's the title.
Leaders Eat Last. Yeah.
Right. Check it out.
It's really good. It just reminds me, and it's like you just want the whole team to know that like. The way I'm starting to shift my mindset is like, I work for you guys, it's like, I'm going to do whatever you guys need. I'm going to try to like set everything up, but like Hannah's running this customer success onboarding implementation. Like I'm going to help her. I'm going to try to guide her in terms of like messaging, like, hold her accountable, things like that. But like, that's her, she like runs it and whatever she needs. And that's where I was like, I picture myself, like I'm trying to SDR for you guys. Like I'm trying to just feed you guys. We can do training. I'm gonna try to give you everything I like, know in terms of like messaging, and then like, hey, let's do these. But it's like, I feel like the team has to feel like they're trusted and that like they can run with it. Versus, there was some example that I thought was really good. It's basically where someone like felt like they didn't have the power, so like. They did something that like totally didn't make sense. And they're like, well, why'd you do that? Well, it's like, well, that's what you said to do. And it's like the person just had no control. They're like, they knew that it wasn't the right decision and that it like didn't make sense, but they're like, well, you told me to do it. And they just felt like they just couldn't make their own decisions or anything like that. Like they were just like executors of like someone else's, ideas all the time versus like being able to like own stuff. So anyway, cool.
You forced me to make decisions by not answering me.
Like, just get it done.
I feel like it makes sense most of the time. Not really. Oh, one of the things I got to the point where in the podcast where they were talking about like get me a car or whatever. This is why the reason I can't be a negotiator is or for for hostage situations.
50-second car.
Yeah, because like my question was like, cool, like I don't know if I can do that. Let me figure it. Like it was similar to where he was, and then he kept asking about the car. In my head, I was like, so you like cars? Like what? Like what type of cars do you want? Like what do you want? Like let's talk about cars.
Dude,
and just like change.
That's the how questions. If you kept listening, he's like,
then
you should have asked like, absolutely, I'm going to get you a car. How do you expect me to get you a car in 60 seconds? I need to make sure that like the team isn't surprised when you come out and you get the car. So then and then. But you got to stay composed. Like, don't talk.
Absolutely.
because what he said is like when you feel like someone's trying to talk over you, then they're trying to take the power, and like you want to feel like you have the power. So it's like if you're calm, and it's like you let them talk and you let them be assertive, like they still feel like they have the power, and then you position yourself as like powerless. Like how do you expect me to get you the car? I need okay, 60 seconds is not a lot of time. Cars, you know, you gotta turn them on.
But like in my mind, I was like immediately like, what type of car? What do you want me to call Nick Cage? Like what? Like gone in 60 seconds? Come on. So I can't do hostage negotiation.
Well, that's maybe good. I thought it was interesting that they said that a hostage in a bank only happens once every 20 years.
Yeah, that doesn't. It seems like it. I guess TV makes it seem like it happens more often, but
Crazy. All right. Anything else? Anything I can help with?
not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Hello. Hello. Pay attention.
Sorry, I got distracted.
All right. What can I help with?
I don't think anything at the moment.
All right.
You did help actually last month by upping our prices by like $15 and $25.
Dude, that's
because that is literally what got me over the hump from $2,800 to $3K.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Right. Well, I mean, if you look at it, I didn't. This is more anecdotal, but if you go through and see like the four or so pro plans that I sold, and then the one agency plan to Bob that we sold, that makes up that extra $100, $200.
And that's like
it's like monumental.
Yeah. It would have been like 2-3 sales at the smaller dollar amounts, which to get that you would have had to do like 6 more demos, which is like 3 days of work. You literally just shaved 3 days of work off your time. Oh my God, that's actually a good point. I'm about to do the month update for like investors and stuff, and I was not even going to mention the price increase, but it's like, and that's also I think we need to prove to ourselves. I remember when I first did it, like we're kind of like, I don't know, because it's like, dude,
it's like
you're gonna pay $115, like the value's there. You know, I bet we could even go $140. You know, and it's like as long as like we're netting, you know, we might get a few tire kickers who might not come because they're like purely price sensitive. But it's like, you know, if we just need to position value, like value. I mean, we're like responding within seconds to these guys. We are full fucking service. We are helping them. We're going into their WordPress. We're purging their cache. I'm going into their like strikingly accounts, getting our senior level developers to implement this stuff. Like no one else is doing that shit for like this. That's like $1,000 service, like full service. We're basically doing full service at self-service prices, which is why I think we can justify
There's none of this hidden fee bullshit. There's none of this extra.
Yeah.
Sorry, I might not let us say bullshit. You have to edit that out.
No, you can say bullshit.
I don't really got the FCC watching this. I don't know.
Probably.
Your videos look good. I'm excited to see those go live. The one where you're like walking up the dock, that one's kind of sick. You're like, wait.
Who else is doing that? No one else is doing videos like that.
It's like the same video as the other one, but the background is just so obscure that it's like it catches your eye a little bit more.
Yeah, because it'll be like
this
staging like on the computer.
Right. You know, this like random guy in like an office building or whatever with a weird painting behind you.